Working with electrical systems can be dangerous and should only be performed by qualified electricians. Failure to follow proper safety precautions can result in serious injury or death. It is not recommended to use a 220-volt generator outlet to power 110-volt circuits in your home. The 220-volt outlet provides a higher voltage than what is typically used in residential homes, and connecting it to 110-volt circuits could damage appliances or electrical wiring. There are few alternative methods to consider to connect a generator to a home. Firstly, using two 110-volt outlets from the generator to connect the house wires is a feasible option, as long as the wiring is properly sized and installed to handle the load. Secondly, an interlock kit is a safety device that physically prevents the generator from being connected to the grid while it is powering the home. This ensures that there is no risk of feedback into the power lines. Interlock kits typically require the installation of a qualified electrician. Thirdly, a manual transfer switch is a device that allows one to manually switch a home's electrical system between grid power and generator power. It is a safer option than using an interlock kit, as it provides a physical disconnect between the two systems. It is recommended to have the meter removed by a qualified electrician before connecting the generator to house lines. This will prevent any potential damage to the meter or the electrical system if the power comes back on unexpectedly. Always follow the manufacturer's instructions for operating the generator. Use properly grounded extension cords. Keep the generator well ventilated and avoid placing it in enclosed areas. Never overload the generator. Have a qualified electrician inspect the generator and electrical system regularly. When considering the size of the wiring for connecting the generator, one must consider ampacity. Ampacity is the current in amps that a conductor can carry continuously under the conditions of use without exceeding its temperature rating. The National Electrical Code, known as NEC, provides tables that specify the ampacity of conductors based on their size, insulation type, and installation method. For example, NEC Table 310.15. Beat 16 typically lists the ampacity of insulated conductors rated up to 600 volts, not more than 3 conductors in a raceway or cable or earth, based on ambient temperature of 30 degrees Celsius, which is 86 degrees Fahrenheit. When selecting wire, one must also consider voltage drop. Voltage drop is the decrease in voltage along a conductor due to its impedance and the current flowing through it. Excessive voltage drop can cause appliances to malfunction or not operate at all. The NEC recommends limiting voltage drop to no more than 3% for branch circuits and 5% for feeders. To minimize voltage drop, use larger conductors or shorter wiring runs. Regarding grounding, generators must be properly grounded to prevent electrical shock hazards. Grounding provides a low impedance path for fault current to flow back to the source, tripping a circuit breaker or fuse and energizing the circuit. Portable generators typically have a grounding terminal on the frame that should be connected to a grounding electrode, such as a ground rod. When using extension cords with a generator, use properly grounded extension cords that are rated for outdoor use. Inspect extension cords for damage before each use and replace any cords that are frayed or have exposed wires. Never overload the generator by connecting too many appliances or tools at once. Check the generator's wattage rating and the wattage requirements of each appliance or tool before connecting them. The total wattage of all connected loads should not exceed the generator's rating. Overloading the generator can damage it and create a fire hazard. Generator should be placed in a well-ventilated area to prevent carbon monoxide poisoning. Carbon monoxide is a colorless, odorless gas that is produced by the incomplete combustion of fuel. It can build up to dangerous levels in enclosed areas such as garages or basements. Never operate a generator indoors or in an enclosed area where carbon monoxide can accumulate. Install carbon monoxide detectors in the home to provide an early warning of dangerous carbon monoxide levels. Regular maintenance is essential for keeping the generator in good working condition. Follow the manufacturer's recommendations for maintenance, such as changing the oil, cleaning the air filter, and replacing the spark plug. Store the generator in a dry place when not in use and protect it from the elements. Before storing the generator for an extended period, drain the fuel tank to prevent fuel from degrading and clogging the carburetor. Start the generator periodically to keep the engine lubricated and prevent the seals from drying out. A qualified electrician can inspect the generator and electrical system to ensure that they are in good working condition and meet all applicable safety codes. The electrician can also provide guidance on selecting the right size generator for specific needs and installing it properly. Additionally, local codes and regulations may require permits or inspections for installing a generator. Check with the local building department to determine the requirements in the area. When connecting the generator to the home's electrical system, it is important to isolate the home from the utility grid to prevent backfeed. Backfeed occurs when the generator sends power back into the utility grid, which can energize power lines and pose a hazard to utility workers. A transfer switch or interlock kit is used to isolate the home from the grid when the generator is running. A transfer switch is a device that allows one to switch the home's electrical system between the grid and the generator. It provides a physical disconnect between the two sources of power, preventing backfeed. An interlock kit is a mechanical device that prevents the main circuit breaker and the generator circuit breaker from being turned on at the same time. This ensures that only one source of power can be connected to the home at any given time. When using a generator, it is important to be aware of the potential hazards and take precautions to protect oneself and others. Never operate a generator in wet conditions, as this can create a shock hazard. Keep children and pets away from the generator to prevent accidents. Store fuel for the generator in a safe location, away from heat and flames. Have a fire extinguisher nearby in case of a fire. In the event of a power outage, it is important to have a plan in place for how to safely and effectively use a generator. This includes knowing how to connect the generator to the home, how to operate it safely, and how to maintain it properly. By following these safety precautions, one can use a generator to provide backup power during a power outage without putting oneself or others at risk. Always consult with a qualified electrician before making any electrical connections or modifications to the home's electrical system. They can provide guidance on selecting the right equipment and installing it safely and in accordance with all applicable codes and regulations. Remember that electricity is dangerous and should only be handled by those who are properly trained and qualified. Taking the time to learn about generator safety and following these precautions can help protect oneself and others from electrical shock, fire, and other hazards. Staying informed and being prepared is the best way to ensure a safe and reliable power supply during a power outage. Consider the type of appliances that need to be powered during an outage. Some appliances, such as refrigerators and freezers, require a constant power supply to prevent food from spoiling. Others, such as lights and radios, are less critical but can provide comfort and convenience during an outage. When selecting a generator, choose one that has enough power to run all of the essential appliances. It is also important to consider the starting wattage of appliances. Some appliances, such as air conditioners and refrigerators, require more power to start than they do to run continuously. The generator must be able to handle the starting wattage of all appliances that will be connected to it. In addition to providing backup power during outages, generators can also be used for other purposes, such as camping, construction, and tailgating. Portable generators are available in a variety of sizes and power outputs to suit different needs. When using a generator for recreational purposes, be sure to follow the same safety precautions as when using it for backup power. Never operate a generator indoors or in an enclosed area, and always keep it well ventilated. Be mindful of noise levels when using a generator in a campground or residential area. Some generators are equipped with noise reduction features that can help to minimize disturbance. Regular maintenance is essential for keeping the generator in good working condition regardless of how it is used. Follow the manufacturer's recommendations for maintenance, such as changing the oil, cleaning the air filter, and replacing the spark plug. Store the generator in a dry place when not in use and protect it from the elements. It is also important to inspect the generator regularly for any signs of damage or wear. If any problems are found, have them repaired by a qualified technician before using the generator. When purchasing a generator, consider the warranty and service options that are available. A good warranty can protect against unexpected repairs or malfunctions. It is also helpful to have access to a reliable service network in case of any problems. Take the time to research different generator brands and models to find one that is right for one's needs and budget. Read reviews and compare features to make an informed decision. Investing in a quality generator can provide peace of mind knowing that one will have a reliable source of backup power during a power outage or for other recreational purposes. When using a generator, always be aware of the potential hazards and take precautions to protect oneself and others. By following these safety guidelines and maintaining the generator properly, one can enjoy the benefits of backup power without putting oneself or others at risk. Remember to consult with a qualified electrician before making any electrical connections or modifications to the home's electrical system. They can provide expert advice and ensure that the generator is installed safely and in accordance with all applicable codes and regulations. Staying informed and being prepared is the best way to ensure a safe and reliable power supply during any situation. Remember that electricity is dangerous and should only be handled by those who are properly trained and qualified.